Hey, what's up, guys? This is Sharday with Third Generation Conjure, and I'm coming back with another video. So, if you don't know who we are a spiritual company. We specialize in spiritual supplies, mostly catered to hoodoo. We have powders, oils, baths, floor washes, candles, a lot of things on our shop. So, I'm going to put the link in the description bar below if you guys can like and subscribe to our channel. The website is www.thirdgenerationconjure.com. So I wanted to come and make a video because I said that I would on some budget-friendly ways to do your work. Okay, so I'm going to call this the Dollar Tree Challenge because everything that I have on this table came from my local Dollar Tree with the exception of my conditioner oil. Okay, so, there's a receipt, Dollar Tree. All right, so I wanted to just go over just some common things that you can find in your local Dollar Tree. And, if you're going through a tough time where you need to do some work or you're getting into your practice, you don't have a lot of money to dispense for spiritual products, any kind of baths or anything, I'm just going to give you guys some quick alternatives. And one thing that I did forget to buy while I was there, it slipped my mind, was coffee, because I believe they have coffee there too. So I wanted to talk about that first. So for a spiritual bath, a good way to do a spiritual bath if you don't have one handy that's already pre-made is coffee. And all you need to do is, brew you a strong cup of coffee, pour it in your bath, and take you a spiritual bath with coffee. It is a good cleanser. But, forgive me, guys, I forgot to get that while I was in Dollar Tree. All right, so here I have some brown paper bags. So if you're just so used to writing a petition on brown paper, you can use these for your petition. You can tear them up. If you want to take a lighter, I'm going to just do one briefly here. Because some people, and my mom is kind of one too, if she doesn't like ripped edges on petitions. So if you wanted to take you a lighter and light your edges like that, I'm just blowing it out. You can do that, okay? Make you makeshift petition paper, okay? And these are brown paper bags. And keep in mind, like I said, all of this is from Dollar Tree, so everything costs $1. And I literally spent maybe about $27 in Dollar Tree for everything that I have seen on this table, okay? So these are brown paper bags. Like I said, you can use them for petition paper. All right, that's one little tip. All right, another tip. I have some tea lights here. So even with these, white is a good color for any kind of work you're doing. If you can't find candle colors in a particular color, you can always use white. So these are tea lights. If you wanted to kind of melt the top of it, if you had like a heat gun or something, you could sprinkle some herbs on here and make you some dress candles with this, or maybe put a little tiny bit of conditioner oil if you have any. So that's another thing I got at Dollar Tree. I could not find a mason jar, but I found this jar. So I just found what I had. I mean, a lot of times you can find mason jars in Dollar Tree. This is a kind of big jar, so unless you wanted a big sour jar, sweetening jar, I mean, you could use this, but I just got this as an example of, something that you could get from Dollar Tree as far as jar work. But my local one did not have any smaller mason jars in stock, but I just got this one for video purposes. All right, so I'm just setting it to the side as I go along. All right, I also found this skull. So if you wanted to, do some work with the skull, if you kind of burst with that, this is just something cheap that I found. If you wanted to cut a hole in the top of it, you could do that. All right, I also got these right here. I'm sure you guys know what these are for. These are Ziploc bags, okay? So if you were doing any kind of freezer work on someone, this is, inexpensive way to get someone to leave you alone. If you need to freeze someone out your life or freeze someone from bothering you, you can take your makeshift petition paper. I don't know what I did with it, but here you go. All you need is a freezer bag and some water. And if you want to add something to, you know, fire them up, there you go. You got some Dollar crushed red peppers. Okay, and I'll go through the spices that I found once I can finish with this. But yeah, so Ziploc bags, you can use that for freezer work. Your makeshift petition. Okay. All right, next, sugar. Okay. This is sugar that I found. They also have brown sugar. So if you wanted to make you a sweetening jar, you could use sugar from Dollar Tree. I also personally, some people like honey jars. I personally don't use a lot of honey as far as my sweetening jars go. But they have, you know, some honey. May not be top of the line honey, but they got some honey. I use pancake syrup in my sweetening jars. Just a little bit. Something you can find at Dollar Tree. Some of the thin kind, so you can easily shake it up and keep it moving. Okay. And then also, if you wanted to use, you know, if you were burning candles on top of like a sweetener jar or something, if you wanted to use these tea lights, you could use that on top as well. All right. Let's see what we got next over here. We got the sugar, we got the honey. Oh, a good cleanser for your house. This is your ammonia. Costs $1 at Dollar Tree. Put you, you know, maybe a cap full of 2 in a bucket of water, and it looked like that one was open already. But put you a cap full of ammonia in a bucket of water. There you go. Clean your walls, clean your doors, clean your floors. Ammonia is a great cleaner. It's a great cleaner physically, and it's also a great cleaner spiritually for your home. You know, I wouldn't recommend like putting it in a bath or anything just because it's harsh on the skin, but I would recommend it to, you know, do like a spiritual cleanse and a deep clean on your house. All right. So next we're going to go into candles. All right. Now, you know, you're getting candles at Dollar Tree, so they may not always look the best. Okay. So I found these are just some candles that I found at Dollar Tree. This is apparently a black candle. Now, like I said, it doesn't look very pretty, but you know, it's $1. All right. I got a red candle right here. You know, it really doesn't matter. Now, I will say this. You do have to look at the quality of your candles when you are trying to analyze a burn. So if you see it like blackening at the top, or, you know, something like that, your wick is going out, you know, something like this with this long wick, you want to trim that first. Because if you just go to setting fire to this long wick, you know, you're going to get down to here where your wick is going to burn up. And then when the candle wax starts melting, it's going to put out your wick. So, you know, something like that with a long wick like that, you want to trim the candle. But I see a lot of people that look real in depth into how their candles burn. You know, me, I personally just look at how clean the candle burns. Okay. If there's some black residue, but sometimes even with black residue, if you have a poorly made candle, you may have it to where the wax is, you know, the wax is putting the wick out, putting the fire out, or you may have it to where it's creating, you know, soot or black residue. That's just because you got a poorly made candle, and doesn't necessarily mean that it is something that's spiritual. And I wanted to get in that too, because, you know, I have people saying, you know, well, what does it mean if my flame is jumping? You know, you also have to look at common sense things though. Because if I have a ceiling fan going in my room, or I have an air conditioner, my candle is sitting under a vent, then of course my flame is going to bounce back and forth. So also kind of use common sense things too. Not everything has a spiritual context behind it. Okay. Like, I don't personally like reading wax. You know, some people may say, hey, can you look at this wax? I see it's forming a love heart or something. You know, I'm doing love work and it's forming a heart. Okay. You know, if you want to read into your wax, you know, that's fine. But I personally don't read into wax like that. Because if you look at a cloud and me and someone else is looking at a cloud, I might see a bunny rabbit in the cloud and you may see a dog, you know, because everybody's eye is different, if that makes sense. Okay. But yeah, so, and with these, if you wanted to dress your candles, like I said, just be kind of careful. Don't over saturate your candles, because it can make the make your candle go out as well. But if you wanted to poke maybe 3 holes in it, get you a skewer and poke 3 holes, and maybe put you, if you have conditioner oil, you can put you a couple drops of oil in the candle. You can dress your candle that way. You can also, you know, if you wanted to, let me see, I got basil. So if you wanted to sprinkle some basil, like this is herb for money. So if you wanted to sprinkle some basil or something on the candle, you could do that too for a dress candle. But I will say this, a lot of times you can't find, I know in our local Dollar Tree, we can't find a lot of different color candles. You can almost always find white. So if you can't find different color candles, you can always use white as a substitute for any kind of work that you're doing, okay? All right, so we are done with the candles. So I'm gonna get into some different herbs and stuff that I found. And when I say conditioned oils, guys, this is what I'm referring to. Like right here, I have some Peaceful Home oil. So with this, you can use your oils to dress your candles. Like I said, you can put some drops in your candle. You can also put some drops in your bath water, make you a bath. If you wanted to put some like in your soap and make a, you know, use it as a floor wash, you can. You know, this is things to do, you know, if your money is tight and, you know, you can't put money into buying conditioner oils and candles. You know, once you come up, then you can, you know, buy things so you don't have to sit here and try to make it and piece ingredients together. Okay. So I got a couple, I just got spices that I could find. Right here I have sea salt, Himalayan salt, and black pepper. So if you wanted to mix these together and use this as protection to sprinkle around your house, you most definitely can do that. That's something simple that you can do. All right. I got cayenne pepper and red pepper. So if this was like something for banishment, then this is something, or if you were trying to, you know, maybe hot foot, which you put sulfur in that, but you can't find that at Dollar Tree. But I mean, you can use these two if you're doing some kind of banishment, like with the black candle. You may want to dress your candles with, you know, some cayenne or some crushed red pepper. Or even if you were doing some freezer work, you kind of wanted to burn somebody up, you could put that in your bag as well. Okay, and let's see what I got next. So, I got some basil, which is a good money herb. I have some ground cinnamon, which is also good. And I have some allspice, the pumpkin spice. Well, allspice is in here too, but this is pumpkin pie spice. And I believe this has cinnamon and allspice, which are both money herbs. So you could get this and you can have your cinnamon and all of that in one. Or you can get the cinnamon and basil, or you can get all three, whichever one. But I just wanted to give you guys an idea, you know, just of some cheap things you can get if you have a budget that you're working on, and, you know, you can still do your work, okay? And like I said, I don't have coffee up here because I forgot to get it. I'm pretty sure Dollar Tree sells some cheap coffee. So like I said, you can just brew your cup, put some in your bath water. You know, if you want to read a psalm or just say a prayer while you're doing your spiritual bath, you can do that. And that's a good cleanser. And I did also want to say, for this upcoming ritual, this blockbuster and this road opener ritual that we have going on, make sure that you guys do a spiritual cleanse prior to this ritual, okay? Because we want to get any kind of negative energy, any kind of stagnated energy off of you. So if you have any kind of baths from us, 13 herbs, spiritual healing, you know, even if you wanted to use a road opener bath or something like that, just make sure that you take a spiritual bath prior to. You know, we'll probably do the ritual maybe about after 7:30ish, and that's Central Time. So if you can get a spiritual bath, you know, that morning, or maybe like the day before, the night before, just make sure that you take a spiritual cleanse prior to, okay? And I think that was it, guys. And oh, I did want to say too, just a side note, just because I've had a lot of questions. When you guys are doing work, or when you're having someone else do work for you, stop putting blockages in your work. just because you see that, you know, you think your candle flickering is a bad sign, or you're like, I don't want to put out my candle. I wanted to burn all the way through, but I had to put it out, so my work isn't finished and my work didn't work. Don't do that, because whatever energy that you're putting into your work, that's what's going to manifest. So stop overthinking it and stop putting blockages and putting all of that negative energy into your work. You know, like I had someone ask me about putting out a candle. You know, I personally, I don't like leaving candles burning when I go to sleep. So even if I'm working for someone, I snuff those candles out and then I relight them, just because I still practice safe fire, you know, safety fire, you know, safety with fire. So I don't leave candles burning when I'm sleeping and I'm not able to, you know, watch them. I don't leave candles burning if I'm leaving my house. So, you know, just make sure that you're still being smart and you're using common sense when you guys are doing your work too. Because the last thing we want is for your house to burn down, you know, because you're burning a candle that has some herbs on it and the herbs catch on fire, and you're not there to watch it and put it out if you need to. Okay. But yeah, so until next time, guys, make sure that you subscribe to our channel for more videos. Also, like this video and follow us on Instagram. It's Third Generation Conjure. You can like us on Facebook as well, which is Third Generation Conjure. And for spiritual supplies, you can find us at www.thirdgenerationconjure.com. If you're more familiar with the Etsy platform, you can find us there as well. The web address there is www.thirdgenerationconjure.store. And also just remember, we do have a Blockbuster Enrolled Open a Ritual coming up on Wednesday, September the 16th. It is filling up pretty fast, so make sure that you guys are signing up for that. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.